We're just going to do some basic transformations with this function that we'll call f of x, this kind of like zigzag shape. So let's start by making a table for f of x. So let's see, we have this point -1, +2. Then we have this point 1, 0. And then we have this point 2, 3. And our last point over here is 3, 2. So again, those are -1, +2, 1, 0, 2, 3, and 3, 2. Okay, so let's say we are going to find the function negative f of x. So what that means is I'm going to take all of my y values and make them negative. I'm going to flip it over the x-axis. So instead of -1, +2, it's going to be -1, -2. And instead of 1, 0, hey, it's still going to stay 1, 0 because the opposite of 0 is 0. And then we have 2, -3, and 3, -2. So that's here, here, down there, and then back there. So that is called a reflection over the x-axis. Our x-axis is here, so it's basically just flipping down. So I'm going to erase this blue one so we just only focus on one thing at a time. And the next thing we're going to talk about is a horizontal transformation. And in a horizontal transformation, we are going to see movement left or right. And that is going to actually be the opposite of what we kind of see written out in the transformation. So if I see that we have f of x plus 4, this is actually a transformation left 4. So when it's on the inside, it's always the opposite. So even though I see a +4, it's actually going to move to the left. So I'm going to take my x value and move it 4 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the point -5, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's -3, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's -2, 3. And right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is -1, 2. So you can see if you subtract 4 from all of these x values, you'll get this red graph. Okay, so let's get rid of all of that so we can just focus on one transformation at a time. And let's now go to a vertical transformation. So vertical transformation is going to move us up and down. And this time we're going to see it written out where it is on the outside. So it's going to look like this. F of x minus 1. So here we're going to move every y value down 1. So we have the point -1, 1, 1, -1, 2, 2, and 3, 1. So notice our x's don't change this time. It's just those y's that we're subtracting 1 from. Okay, then the last thing that we're going to do is our stretch and our shrink. So let's say we have like a 2f of x. We're going to double all the y values. So that's -1, 4. 1, 0 doesn't do anything. 2, 6, and 3, 4. All of those ordered pairs. So notice I'm doubling the y value. So -1, 4, 1, 0 again doesn't change. 2, 6, and 3, 4. We see that this is stretched. Okay, and our vertical compression, I am going to use a half just because most of these numbers are even, and that just makes it a little bit easier. So if I have half f of x, I'm just going to take all of those y values and divide them by 2. 0 divided by 2 is still 0. This is going to give me 1.5 and 1. So -1, +1, 1, 0 stays the same, 2, 1.5, and then 3, 1. So here we go, and there's my vertical compression. So I wanted to put a couple of these together so you can see what it looks like when we have multiple transformations together. So let's say that I have a vertical stretch and a reflection. So not only am I going to take my 2 down to a -2, I'm also going to multiply it by 3. Stays the same. 3 becomes -3, and then we multiply it by 3. And this will be the same thing. So I have -1, -6, stays the same, 2, -9, like way down there, and then 3 is back here at -6. So you can see I have that reflection and that stretch. Okay, let's see some movement, left, right, left or right, and up and down. So we can see what that looks like when we put it together. Okay, so let's say we have f of x -2 plus 1. So this means we're going to move right 2 and up 1. So add 2 to the x, right 2, up 1. So we now have the point 1, 3. Second point was at 1, 0. So I'm moving 2 to the right, up 1. So that is 3, 1. I'm moving my 2, 3, 2 to the right, up 1. Now that's at the point 4, 4. And last, I have my point 3, 2. And I'm moving that 2 to the right, up 1. Okay, so I'll put my final answer here, maybe in like a gray here. So we see it's not stretched or shrank. It still kind of takes up the same amount of space. It's just shifted to the right 2 and up 1.